What's up you guys, it's Molly. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new, and welcome to another video if you're new here. My name is Molly. Now I'm a rising sophomore at the University of Alabama. Today's video is one that is definitely very timely for the upcoming high school seniors and even high school juniors or college transfers, people that are looking to make a big step into college, make a change in their college, whatever it may be. This video is all about how to choose the right college for you, my tips and my advice, because I have had a very successful first year at Alabama and I have no doubt in my mind that I have made the right choice in where I go to school. So I just thought I would compile a list of my tips and my advice and things that I looked at when I was going through the college decision process that I think are very important, and things that rising seniors and juniors in high school and any transfers should keep in mind when they're beginning their college search process. So that's what we're gonna do today. I hope you guys are excited because I'm really excited for this video. I think it's a really interesting topic, and as summer is now approaching, seniors are getting ready to compile their college lists, and it's just a really exciting time for everyone that is deciding on where they're gonna spend their next 4 years. So yeah, I don't really have anything else to say, so let's jump right into the video. The first thing that I want to mention before I really jump into the tips of this video is the fact that I applied to about 15 schools all across the country, west, south, north, pretty much everywhere. I really did kind of give myself a wide range of options, and so touring, researching, and all of the things that I'm about to say really came into play for me because I was deciding on schools all across the country. Most I toured, some I did not, so it was a very interesting process for me. So I've compiled a whole list of tips that we are going to get into right now. So the first big tip that I have is think about your major and what schools have top programs in that. So for me, one of the big deciding factors for Alabama for me was my interest in journalism and PR and their amazing PR program and their very great journalism program as well. Their APR program at the University of Alabama is top 5. So if you are a PR and advertising student in your future and you want a school that excels in that, Alabama is definitely one of them. So I would highly encourage you guys to come check us out if you guys are interested in that major. Journalism is obviously super amazing at the school as well, and I'm kind of still conflicted about which one I want to do. I'm leaning toward the journalism path. I'm hoping that I can somehow combine PR into it a little bit more than I have. So I'm kind of in that middle space, and it just was the best decision for me for that. And some schools that I had toured excelled in different things, and some schools that I really realized I did not like as much as I thought I would excelled in things like bio or math and like STEM majors, which is completely fine. And if you are interested in that, I would definitely look at schools that excel in that. But for me, obviously, it didn't make much sense because more of the opportunities of the school were catered toward those majors, and there weren't as many left for students like me. And I wanted a school that had a large student body around my major or the school that I was interested in. And a lot of schools that I ended up either not applying to or didn't end up deciding on, some of them didn't really have that. So that's something really important to pay attention to as well. The next thing is definitely huge for some people. It might not be for others, but for me it was a very big thing. Is decide what area you would ideally want to be at school, like west, south, northern, etc. For me this was huge. I knew I didn't want to stay in state. I applied to one in-state school and I got in, but I just knew it wasn't for me. It did have a very good communications program, which is why I gave it a chance, but I just ultimately decided it wasn't meant for me. I knew I wanted to be south. I knew I wanted to be warm. Every school that I had toured in the south I loved, and so I knew no matter what, that was like the area I wanted to be in because so many schools had been so ideal to what I was looking for down there. And so it kind of just rose to the top of the list. And I also see myself living down south or west at some point in my life, and so I kind of wanted to be near where I'm hoping to live in the future. But it is definitely very important, if you want to be up north, apply to all the schools up north. Give yourself as many opportunities to be in the region you want that you can. Obviously it is a very big decision to make, and the people that choose to go to a different region, like somewhere where they haven't lived, it can be a bit of a change. If you guys want to watch any of my videos, I talk about what it's like being an out-of-state student at Alabama. I have why I chose the University of Alabama video that I did before I had even gone to school. I will link those down below so you guys can check those out, so you guys can kind of see my insight as a high schooler and not really having the experience I have now. But it definitely really does come into play. Some people come to Alabama and realize they were meant to be near where they're from, which is totally fine. But for me, I was just drawn to the south and it ended up working out for me. So that is another really important tip as well. The next one is really important, and I feel like not a lot of people address this often in videos. Look at school costs, scholarship help, etc. to determine if schools are financially feasible for you. Finances of college are major, you guys, and one of the things things for me that was so amazing about Alabama that really drew me to them was their scholarship aid based solely on test scores and GPA. So that gave me a good discount off of my tuition, which was super nice and something that I really enjoy. Some of the other schools that I was considering, similar in tuition price, Alabama was a huge nudge forward because of the scholarships that they offered me that most of the other schools did not. And being an out-of-state student, it isn't often you see, especially going to such a big university, such good scholarships coming from such a big school, and so it was really helpful. Some people's parents pay for all 4 years, some pay for part, some pay for none. You're entirely in charge of it. So I would just set yourself kind of a range in price that you can do and go from there, because that does change people's college lists significantly based on that. So that is something really important you guys should pay attention to as well. This next one was very big for me. For some people it really doesn't bother them, but for me this was huge. Consider school culture, sports, Greek life, etc. For me, I knew I wanted a big school because I wanted the big sports. I wanted game day, weekends, I wanted it all. I wanted tailgates, I wanted all of that. And Alabama obviously is amazing for it. It is one of the main reasons I chose it. The culture is unbelievable. It is so much fun, but some people don't mind not having sports. There were a few schools that I had toured that were very selective schools, very good schools, but they didn't offer D1 sports, or they didn't have Greek life, and those things were really important to me because I wanted that kind of culture, that networking for Greek life. Those types of things were really important to me, and some of those schools didn't offer that, and they were really easy ways for me to check things off of my list that I just like knew these schools weren't meant for me. The next one is kind of similar to what I just mentioned, but the next tip is campus vibe is very important. The style of a campus can turn you off to a school. So I have a story time for you guys. So when I was a rising junior in high school was when I first started touring schools, because I knew my college list was going to be long, and two of the first schools that I toured were the University of North Carolina because it was my dream school, and Duke. And I loved UNC. It kind of had more of a traditional vibe, but Duke was very gothic looking and it wasn't very welcoming to me, and I probably would have considered applying to Duke because it is an amazing school, but the look of the school kind of just really threw me off, and it really kind of made me feel like tense. And I feel like a school that I ended up choosing, Alabama for example, like it is such a happy campus, like it's so traditional and beautiful, so well maintained, and you just can't help but smile when you're walking around campus, and I didn't really feel that at Duke, and so that was kind of a reason that I kind of shoved Duke off to the side. So that is definitely something really important. All campuses are different, but if you're looking for like a certain image in your head, like if you picture yourself at a school, Alabama, like I pictured that kind of a campus for me. So that is just something really important as well that I wanted to mention. I talked about regions a little bit before and where you want to be in the country or in the world for school, but this is kind of going off of that. Consider the weather. I did not want the cold at all. Like I said, I only applied to one in-state school, and I think I only applied to 2 northern schools. I applied to Ohio State and Penn State, and that was it. I knew I wasn't going to be in the cold unless I like absolutely fell in love with the school. Besides that, they were all down south and a few were out west. So it's definitely something to consider. If you know you don't want a certain type of weather, steer clear of those areas. I'm just letting you guys know that now. Obviously you could fall in love with the campus and get over the weather. That's totally normal. So many people do that. For me, I just knew that was like a really big factor for me and something that I really didn't want to compromise on. This next tip I feel like is pretty obvious, but I just want to reiterate this to you guys as much as I possibly can. Tour every school you possibly can. It is majorly important, and it was such a big factor for me. I feel like I've told this story before, but I was between the University of Alabama and the University of Georgia for my final 2 schools. I toured both of them. I toured Georgia going into my senior year, like the summer of my senior year, prior to my senior year, and Alabama I really just kind of applied to because I knew it was like in the area that I wanted and it had a lot of the things that I was looking for, but it wasn't really like a top choice. Like I wasn't even really considering it in my mind, and so until I toured Alabama, Georgia was like my top choice. Like I was pretty much convinced I was going to Georgia. My mom was looking for like apartments for them to come visit me and stay at, and it was just like a thing. Like people thought I was going to Georgia. I toured Alabama in December of my senior year. I was down there. It was freezing. It's not like normal down there to be cold, but it was really cold. It was December during my winter break, and I left and I was just like, I want to go there. Like I just knew. I literally, like for Christmas, like I asked for Alabama sweatshirts. Like I basically just like knew in that moment. Like you step on a campus, and some people don't have this, but I really did. You just have that moment where you're like, I'm meant to be here, and you like look around and you just feel like a part of it. And picturing yourself on a campus is very different than being there, and being there really made the decision very easy for me for both schools because I had been to both schools and I could really easily tell the difference in my mood, the difference in how I felt about each, and it helped me decide on Alabama. So that is a really important thing. You guys should definitely go tour as many schools as you possibly can. This last tip is a big one, and it is entirely focused on your future, and it is think about networking for your future careers. So for me, I obviously I tried to think about Greek life because of networking. That was a huge thing for me. Alabama being a Pi Phi, it is a big Greek organization in the country, and so there are a lot of Pi Phi people that I know and that work in jobs, and you can do where job placement is just like a bonding thing. If you go into an interview and the woman sitting across from you is also a Pi Phi from another school or from the same school, and so it's definitely really nice something to have that, and all the graduating girls above us in my chapter who might be working where I'm going to work in the future. It's just really nice to kind of have that leg up with that sisterhood connection there. Another thing that really pulled me to Alabama networking wise was Capstone Agency, the best student run PR and advertising firm in the country. It is amazing. I love it, and it has given me so much real world experience working for clients that I wouldn't be getting anywhere else in any other school. So it was really something that drew me to them because I knew I would be getting that experience that I would need as an internship, and I'm getting that as a first year freshman. So it's really, really nice. And it's definitely one of the big reasons that I was pulled to Alabama. If you guys are interested in applying to schools and maybe you're applying to honors colleges and you're applying to leadership programs, those are huge, you guys. If you get into those, I would seriously consider them because that is just a leg up on your resume, a leg up in your experience, and it could ultimately land you in a really great job later in life. I just think that was a really big factor for me that led me to choosing the University of Alabama. That is it for this how to choose the right college for you video. My tips and advice. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it helped you guys out heading into your college decision time, and I have been through this. If you ever want to DM me, ask me questions, whether it's about Alabama, whether it's just advice on other schools, honestly, feel free. I love this stuff. This is why I make videos on it. I love it. I'm passionate about it, and I like helping all of you guys find your homes away from home. So if you guys are interested, I'll put my Instagram right here, so you guys can feel free to reach out to me if you have questions just generally about Alabama, about the college decision process. I've helped plenty of people with their applications in the past, kind of helping them with the lowdown, how to pick a good school for you and everything like that. So definitely am open to helping you guys. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time.